Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Mike Kollin at MikeKollin.com. Okay, so this video is inspired by a song. It's a Christian band that I very much like, and I love their music. There's just one thing I would like to bring up about it. So the name of the band is Adelaide Music, and this song is called Pick Up the Pieces. Okay, so number one, I am not knocking this band or this song in any way, shape, or form. That is absolutely not the purpose or intention here. The purpose and intention is to show you something that we do on a regular basis that destroys us, that tears us down on the inside. So let me show you what it is. So first of all, I'm a certified master hypnotherapist. I actually have, I think it's like 7, maybe 9 certifications in hypnosis alone, okay? So all I'm trying to share with you is one thing. Words are spells, okay? Now there could be good spells or bad spells. Now this is something that people do on a regular basis without realizing. And this is why it's important to choose your words in a more positive way. Like one of the things I figured out on my own, I didn't learn it from a course or a class or a book. When you use plus words like 1 + 1 = 2, you tend to create better energy. You tend to feel better, and your mind becomes clearer because you're opening up the left to the right. Okay, so in the past I've used the phrase and, both, plus, and more. It's my mantra. I don't know if it's a mantra, if that's the right word, but it's and, both, plus, and more, yes, yes, yes. And I'll go for a walk or even a jog, and I'll just repeat that over and over and over for at least 7 minutes to 10 minutes. And it will really clear up my mind, and my heart and my chest will loosen up, and I can breathe deeper. So what it does, it puts you in a positive mindset, which allows you to see things clear. So this is one thing about dealing with a narcissist, is they're always using negation. They're saying no, not, can't, but, won't, shan't. So those are all not words or but. So the word but literally negates, minuses everything that was said before it. So if someone says, I love you, but will you do the dishes? They literally said, I don't love you, do the dishes. Now sometimes I'll use the word but on purpose because I'm purposely describing something and then saying, almost like saying not this. Okay, so using the word but is not necessarily a bad thing. So that's a little bit more in depth of an explanation, which I've explained in past videos. So this video is about something a little bit deeper. Oh, real quick, so a narcissist, no matter what you say, let's say you win something, you win a competition you've trained years for, or whatever, they will use negations on purpose to make you feel small. It's a form of devaluing, and it's why they do it. Alright, so today's subject is about how we, and I'm going to use the word we as Christians or even religious people, will say things that are absolutely not biblical, that are not, it's not the way God or Jesus looks at you at all, but we think this, and here's why. Now, this song is a beautiful song. I love it. But and I'm using the but to stipulate there is a real challenge here. So during the song, somewhere in the middle, and she repeats it, I think 3 or 4 different times throughout the song, she says, just pick up the pieces. I am nothing but a filthy rag. And then she goes on to say, you are my portion. You are all that is good in me. Now, mind you, it is a very emotional song. It'll make you cry, okay? And it's emotional. Now, what do we know about prayer or effective prayer? If you add emotion to it, if you are emotional when you pray, it will come faster. In other words, what you're manifesting, what you're praying for, it will manifest or come into reality faster. So it is the perfect combination of repeating negative thoughts and then adding emotion to it. So at the very beginning she says, just pick up the pieces. It's like, well, the reason why you're shattered is because you're constantly telling yourself in an emotionally embedding hypnotic way that you're nothing, that you're a filthy rag. And let me tell you something, that is absolutely not, N-O-T, that is not true at all. If you keep telling yourself that this is what you are, then that's what you're going to become. That phrase, I am, is a very, very, very powerful phrase because it creates who you become unconsciously. Your unconscious mind goes, I am this, okay, then that's how I'm going to feel. Those are the things I'm going to talk about. That's what I'm focused on. That's what I'm going to say to other people, and etc. And not only that, but then you're going to allow people around you who view you this way, who look at you this way, and then you wonder, how come people always treat me this way? I wonder why. This is literally a self-fulfilling prophecy. The way your unconscious mind works is by images. If you sit there and say, I am this filthy rag, it goes, oh, that's what I am? Okay. See, here's the really cool thing about the unconscious mind. There is no judgment at all. It is literally an obedient servant. It just, whatever you show it, whatever you tell it, it goes, oh, okay, then that's what I'm going to create. And unconsciously, you know that whole iceberg where like 95% or whatever is underneath the water that you can't see? It's a massive, massive thing. The very tip you see like 1% or less than 1%. What is underneath is the powerhouse of what creates your life. You have got to start feeding your unconscious mind, technically your emotional system, good thoughts and good words and good images. Otherwise, you're going to create a life where you get treated like a filthy rag. And if other people refuse to treat you that way, you'll find people who will, unconsciously. And you'll do it to yourself. So then she goes on to say, you are my portion, like... It's kind of like those kids that were homeless and they were taken in by this like group in Europe, or like the old days in America, and they're like, more soup, please, and they're begging for soup. It's like, I'm just this nothingness and I'm starving and hungry and I just want a second bowl of soup. Like we're beggars. You're my portion. That is such a, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a poverty mindset. And let me tell you something. That is not the way God created you, or thinks of you, or looks at you at all. Satan does. Demonic narcissists do. And yes, this is the way they treat you. Yeah, it's starting to ring some bells, isn't it? And then she goes on to say, you are all that is good in me. So on the one hand, she says, I am nothing but a filthy rag. I got to pick up the pieces because I'm so horrible. I'm a nothingness. I'm so dirty. And all that's good in me is you. So I'm nothing. I'm not good, but you are. Now here's the deal. On top of it, there is music. There is emotions that are being created. The lyrics before, during, and after this section are very emotional. And this is getting embedded into your emotional unconscious system. And then it causes a massive conflict. On the one hand, you pray to God for more money. You pray to God for a better spouse. You pray to God for a better friend, a better life, a better whatever. And yet, you're saying, I'm nothing. I'm a filthy rag. And so this causes a massive conflict. And you're like, well, why can't I manifest? Or when I pray for something, how come God doesn't deliver it? Because you won't let Him. You're the one who puts on the brakes. You're the one who says, no, I'm a filthy rag. I'm nothing. I just a portion. Oh, more soup, please. By the way, this image and the next two images are, that's off on the north side of the Golden Gate Bridge, looking back towards San Francisco and towards the East Bay, okay? What you're going to see is the Bay Bridge right there. And then I'll show you a picture just to the right of me. So I'm going to turn right, and in about 15, 20 seconds or 30 seconds, there's an image I took of the Golden Gate Bridge. And yes, I took these pictures. Oh, if you guys ever fly out here, take a course of training with me, do some work or anything, the Golden Gate Bridge is only 15, maybe 17 minutes from where I live. I mean, literally from my parking spot. Okay, so it's a really beautiful sight, day and nighttime. And there's on the other side of the road, there is a hill where a lot of people will walk up there and look down on it goes way up, so you essentially are almost as high as the top of the Golden Gate Bridge, so you look down on the Golden Gate Bridge in the water. It's a really beautiful view. I'll get a picture of that someday. Okay, so number one, what you're doing, this is called embedded command. So anytime you connect emotions to a phrase and it's like you're stating it, or even listening to a song over and over, you're literally casting a spell on yourself. Okay, so be careful of what you listen to. It is really, really important. So number one of the most easiest hypnotic things to do, hypnotic suggestion, is just repeat something over and over and over. So this is why somebody can get you to believe a lie as long as they keep saying it over and over. Eventually you'll just be like, oh yeah, your unconscious mind will accept it over a period of time. And this is one of the narcissist tactics. So now I'm going to smash all that. So here's the deal. If you honestly, please read the book of Genesis, because it clearly states that God made us. God made us in his and her. He said he made he and she in our likeness. Okay, so I'm going to read this out of my King James Bible. It says book Genesis 1:26, okay? So it said, and God said, let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. It's kind of funny, he uses creepeth, as in creepy narcissist. Alright, so here's the deal. I'm going to ask you guys some questions. So number one, who made you? God. In whose likeness? Theirs. Or in our, as it states, okay? So I have to ask you a question. If you think you're a filthy rag that's got to pick up the pieces and you're nothing, so God made you in his image. So you're trying to convince me that God is nothing and that God's a filthy rag. Is that what you believe? Do you believe that about God? I don't. I believe God is absolutely pure, absolutely shining. It's his light, his energy is of such high purity. It is beautiful, it is clean, it is fresh, it is the most amazing experience to behold, or to be around, to experience. Number one, who made you? God, the freshest, cleanest, purest light, purest energy in the entire known and unknown universe of all the expanses. He made you beautiful. He literally made you in his own image, in his own likeness. You were lied to, you were tricked. Songs, music, even well-meaning Christians have been trying to convince you that you're nothing. That is absolutely not true. You are everything. You are everything to God. You are a child of God. You are an infant. You are a baby. When you were born, God and the angels celebrated with song and merriment. They literally sang in choir, like singing. Pick up the pieces. What pieces? The pieces of broken shards, the pieces of the lies, the pieces of filthy rags, the pieces of all the lies that you've been told of. No. Drop those pieces. Let them go. You are already whole. You are already healed. You are already complete. When you have an experience with God, when you finally meet God, okay, you are going to be surprised at how joyful he is and going to be when he finally sees you, when he finally connects with you, when he finally embraces you. You're going to be like, wait, you love me? Yes! You are God's portion. You are God's joy. You are God's light. You are God's achievement. When you finally accept this and believe this and embrace this fully and completely, you will begin to face God and realize, well, God loves me. Like the love that will emanate from God into your heart, into your soul, will be absolutely incredible. It is the narcissist from day one all the way back to the book of Genesis who has done everything to manipulate and trick you and lie to you and convince you that you're no good, that you're a filthy rag, to turn away from God, to be ashamed. And you know what? They are wrong. They are so absolutely wrong. You are clean. The real you is beautiful. The real you is already clean. All you have to do is start feeding yourself good thoughts, good feelings, good ideas, good images. Start feeding yourself the Word of God. You're gonna, if you start looking at the Bible, you're like, wait, God loves me. Like, yeah. I bet when you read the book of Genesis, you didn't understand what God was saying. He made you in His likeness. He gave you dominion over the land, over the animals, over the fish, over etc. You are God's chosen. Remember, it's the fallen angels that were first given dominion over the earth, okay? But what happened was they rebelled against God, they turned against God, and now they are the fallen angels, and these are the narcissists that are walking around on the earth right now. And here's what they're doing. The battle is trying to convince enough of us to turn from God so they can win the war. Win the war of what? To get the earth back. They're pissed off at you. They're pissed off that God gave dominion to us, that God made us in His image. They're mad because they want it back. They want dominion over the earth, the animals, the fowl of the air, the fish of the sea. They want that back, and that's what this is all about. This is why they devalue you. If they can convince you that you're not good enough, that you don't deserve it, then you will willingly hand it over to them, and that is essentially what we have done on the planet Earth. They are projecting onto you the way that they feel about themselves. So if you're in church standing next to someone who's a narcissist, a fallen angel, they feel horrible. They feel absolutely horrible. And they're going to start twisting. You know, I'm not even going to say they're going to twist the Bible verses. They're going to perceive it in a negative light. Because these are the filters that they use to filter everything. Communication with you, reading the Bible, listening to a pastor. See, we as beings, we filter things through the way we believe it is, okay? So they might read something in the Bible and like the book of Genesis, hey, you know, God made you in art. Like I remember when I was a kid, I didn't even get that. What do you mean God made us in His image, in His beauty, in His greatness, in His graciousness, in His compassion, and everything that is good? But a fallen angel, a demon, a narcissist, that's not what they're hearing. That's not what they're seeing. And therefore, they will tell you, oh, you're nothing compared to God. You're nothing. You're a filthy rag. Because that's how they feel about themselves. And that's what they really, really believe. One of the teachings that I've taught you guys is we are not all the same on the planet. There are empaths. We're only about 7% of the planet, of the population. Then you got narcissists, which are like probably 20+% now. Then you got everyone in between. See, if someone tells you something about life, this is their life, this is their experience, because this is who they are. It's not who you are. See, the problem is we all think everyone is like us, that we are all one. We are not all one. We might energetically have connections, but we are different species. We are different beings. I'm going to tell you right now, we are not all fallen angels. Sure, there are a lot of fallen angels here on the planet and inside the earth, etc., etc. And so the way they're going to view life is like, well, this is the way it is. And they don't necessarily see you as different. They're like, well, this is the way it is for us. And you're like, us? I'm not part of your tribe, bro. We are literally a different, improved species that God made. We were made after the fallen angels. We are an improved version. We are not like them, and we are not of them. We are not them. So you're going to have to realize that right now. One of the greatest learnings that empaths learn from getting that final, extreme, massive abuse from a narcissist, when you snap out of it and you're like, I can't take it anymore. The reason why it is so devastating, and we go into that dark night of the soul for 2, 3, 4 years, we got what I call the Great Wall of China, where we isolate ourselves, is because our brain is going, holy shit, because you thought everyone was like you with pure intentions. Well, they mean well, they just had a bad day, or, never in a million years would you believe that, no, these people did this on purpose. They planned it before they even met you. They planned this stuff with their friends to hurt you, to destroy you, to get you in a car wreck, to destroy you emotionally, to do the most horrendous. When you finally see that, it devastates your world view, your view of the world and the way you thought that we were. Well, it's not we, it's us, and then there's them. Okay, for myself, when I snapped out of it, it was devastating because for the first time in my life, I realized, wait a minute, they did all of this on purpose. They've been doing this on purpose for a long, long time. Like, it was a terrifying, dark realization. I mean, a black, dark realization. And it scared the crap out of me to realize, like, holy shit, those people that hurt me, not only did they do it on purpose, they planned it days, weeks, even months in advance, and they did it with other people. That was the most freakiest, weirdest realization that, wait, this was their intention? Because my whole life when people would do harmful things to me, hurtful, mean things, I just thought, oh, they just something must have just happened. They had a bad experience. Someone must have just yelled at them and they took it out on me. I mean, we give them every excuse on the planet, and that's what we do. We make up excuses. Now we see all of those things as red flags. No more excuses. Nope. People don't treat us this way anymore. And the biggest realization that I had was like, wait a minute, they're not like me at all. They don't come from a place of good intention. They have this jealousy and this hatred, and they don't like us at all. So now when I get around someone who does something messed up, I can see it like, oh, they did that on purpose. When I see someone has jealousy and hatred in them, and the way they talk about other people and things they've done, like, oh, I'm out of here. I don't deal with those kind of people. I stopped making up excuses for people doing mean, harmful, aggressive things. No more excuses. I see it for what it is. And that's the biggest lesson that we as empaths learn when we finally go through this whole dark night of the soul, this real dark experience for years, is we stop. See, the way we used to look at people was, oh, there's good in everyone, and that they're a good person, and we overlook their bad things. We only see the little tiny morsel of goodness, which is a lie in the first place. So I finally see people for who they are, the good and the bad, all of them, and I make my decision from there, and that's absolutely what I recommend to you. Don't just see the good side, see all of it. See the good and the bad. So here's my overall point or purpose. People see things from their experience, from who they are, what they believe, what they value, what they think, their rules, how they go through life, what rules they play by. And they assume, well, so do you. No, we don't. See, a narcissist goes through life hurting people and tricking people and playing games and talking behind people's back and being Mr. Sneaky, manipulative, sneaky rat. We don't do that. Here's the deal, though. They think, well, because I'm this way, you must be that way too. And this is why they have a hard time understanding you. It confuses them because you're so damn nice. And they're like, oh, that's their game. They act like they're nice, and that's how they're going to trick me, and that's how they're going to pull the wool over my eyes. So the nicer you are to them, the more they think, oh, they're going to hurt me. And you're like, what are you talking about? So no matter what you do, from their filter, from their perspective of being a messed up person who hurts people and tricks people, they're thinking, oh, they're buying me a gift because they're going to trick me. But like, what's the trick? I don't get it. And they spend their time trying to figure it out. And they get really mad at you, by the way. And you're sitting here going, I'm just buying you a gift because it's your birthday, man. Like, what's the problem? So here's the deal. There are different species on the planet, from fallen angels to the regular person to empaths to narcissists to angels to all, and we all are built and wired differently. Our processors see things and filter things in radically different ways. We are not the same. So essentially what happens is Everyone goes, well, this is the way life is, or this is the way the Bible is, or this is the way this is. No, that's the way that they perceive it from their perspective. Period. End of sentence. Now, a great skill, which I've been developing and working on for over 30 years, actually since I was a little child, is shifting perspectives. For some reason, at birth, I wanted to understand it from your perspective, because if I can understand things from your perspective, I can understand what you're saying, number one, and understand where you're coming from. It's a much more complete way of understanding someone and having clarity in communication. And yes, during my communication course, I will teach you different ways to shift your perspective. And whenever I do life coaching, healing work with you, I will be asking you a series of questions that will elicit your shifting perspectives. Alright, so one thing I wanted to bring up was the Golden Gate Bridge. Alright, do you guys remember my vision that I had? I think it was about 2.5, probably 3 weeks from when this video comes out, because it's going to come up in about 3 days. How I kept talking. I had this vision. It was a crystal clear, the clearest vision I've ever had in my life, where I was standing up like at the very top of the Golden Gate Bridge. It wouldn't be that one, but the other one that's further down at the peak. And the center of the bridge collapsed, okay? And one thing is, I said is the air was fresh and the water, like this water that was coming in was this crystal clear, clean, fresh water. Now I didn't really know what it symbolized. It was a bridge that collapsed. And so I find it very interesting, because then we had the Baltimore Bridge collapse about 2.5 weeks after I uploaded this video about the Golden Gate Bridge, or the bridge collapse vision that I had. So I believe all of this it's symbolic of the structure of our society. So the governmental structures, the rules, the values, the beliefs of the Western world and the society, it's collapsing. And I believe that's why I got that vision. And the freshness of the water and the air, it was essentially saying that it's like a cleansing is happening. One thing I'd like to take the liberty of saying is we are living in fascinating times. You would think I'd be scared or worried. I'm not. It's like the Bible, the book of Revelations is coming to life. It's like it's like this book, this vision, this fantasy, so to speak, is now coming to life. A lot of the prophecies are coming true, and some are saying the seventh horn is about to be blasted. Alright, God bless you guys. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this video. The next video I'm going to make, it's going to be a shorter video. It's going to be about how you can get God to cleanse you of any of that ick or that filthiness that you felt, okay? Because you are a beautiful being. Remember, if you like this video, click subscribe, click the like button, and make a comment. And if you want to, there's a PayPal link down there in the description box. You can go ahead and make a donation. God bless you guys. I'll see you in the next video.